What's up, y'all? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment back again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not a member, and also be sure to hit them notifications so that you're able to get all of my content, all of my videos. Now, before I do tackle this and get down to biz, I want to give a shout out to True Viking um, for the Cash App that she did send. Uh, it is much appreciated. You know, True Viking Sorry about that, y'all. I think I might have fell out. But basically, what I was saying is, you know, I thank True Viking for her love and appreciation for the channel, and thank her for donating. And like I said, man, if you feel compelled to donate to Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man, my Cash App is right there, And if you want to contribute in other ways too as well, whether it's commenting, the like button is free. And of course, sharing and telling a friend, I really appreciate it. Um, I don't really do this, for any type of numbers or any type of monetary monetary donations or none of that. That's not what I'm seeking, man. Right here, man, I want this to be therapeutic for everybody. I want people to have a voice, and the LDBC community is a voice, and our voice is going to be heard whether you want to or not. We going to maneuver. They try to make all types of barriers or barricades for us, but we still find a way, because the mainstream media is going to give you that fake, watered down, not real stuff, and not give you truly what's going on and telling the real story. And that's what we're here for. Even if it is, some of the stuff that we within the LWC we probably don't agree with or whatever. All of us are entitled to our own opinions. So, with that being said, man, let's just go ahead and get right down to business. Chauncey Billups has came out and basically stated that the NBA is uh, is light years ahead uh, of the NFL in terms of how it operates. Um, this is what he had to say. He said, "Quote: I'm really just kind of so proud of our league, to be honest with you." Um, he said, "I think we're light years ahead of where any other league is. I'm really proud of it, and I think a lot of it has to do with our players, our union. They've been pretty aggressive about what needs to happen." Um, you know, we have to also understand that Billups is among the seven black coaches hired to fill eight NBA head coaching vacancies this past offseason. Um, he offered his comments on the league's hiring practices after he was asked about Brian Flores' lawsuit against the NFL, which we know that the former Miami Dolphins coach, he had filed Tuesday, alleging allegations of racism, hiring practices in the league. Now, this is what LC had to say too. He said, "I'll be honest with you." This is coming from Billups. He said, "I'll be honest with you. This is in part to the NFL." He said, "I'll be honest with you. I'm not. Uh, it probably sounds crazy, but I'm not a really big fan of the Rooney Rule." He said, "I think that they're just making you interview a black candidate, but if that black candidate don't really have a chance, don't interview him." He also said, "So I think it gives you a checking the box situation in the situation, and I don't think it's fair. But for some reason, they thought that the rule was going to be the equalizer, and it's not. It's not. So I'm not crazy about it. I'm not crazy about the rule, and a couple of other things in the NFL, but I'm blessed to be in the NBA." End quote. Um, Look, Chauncey Billups, man, he's done a lot for the league. Um, we know that Chauncey Billups had his minor little trouble, and that right there, that situation right there, you can't really say that he was heavily involved. Only reason is because you know he just happened to be there. It was a situation that happened when he played for the Boston Celtics and stuff, and they like to bring that up. But other than that, Chauncey Billups has always been, one of the pillars in the NBA from a standpoint of doing what was necessary to help to carry this league and stay consistent with whether it was being, as a player and being a leader on the floor, um, and then also being a coach too as well, and then also being in the media circus as an analyst. I give Chauncey that in terms of where the league is at now. The marketing, like I was talking to one of the subs earlier, and I was just basically saying that in terms of the like how the NBA is where they're pouring their marketing dollars. I think that they're pouring their marketing dollars. They were so used to pouring their marketing dollars into like just one player, and the NFL is all about promoting teams more so than just the actual player. And that's one difference right off the hand. Another thing is now if we look at it from a standpoint of race, not only do we make pretty much the big percentage of players that are out there in terms of African Americans, but also we have guys in our league to where you could say, okay, like they just mentioned, seven black head coaches, and also you have executives and you have people in the front offices that are working too. So we got to look at it from that standpoint. Can you say that? Can you say that a lot about the NFL? No, you can't. And that's the reason why, I'll give Chauncey Billups that. But what I think needs to improve and what they're trying to improve in the NBA is they're trying to, the whole NBA look, everybody gets so sensitive when I say that the NBA is trying to move on from LeBron James, and they are. They tried to they were trying to move away from Jordan. You know, they were trying to move away from the Magic and the Bird era. They were, in football, they're trying to move away, from the Brady and Ben Roethlisberger and Aaron Rodgers era. Every player and every era has its time, and now that that's coming to close, now what you see more now is what I mentioned when I was talking about the Ben Simmons situation. You have teams that have a superstar on the team, but nevertheless you still have a well-oiled machine team. And when you think of a team like the Phoenix Suns, you got guys on there on that team that what's up with it? Jelly Bean, I see you in the building. Make sure y'all go subscribe to the homie Jelly Bean 4280. If you like gaming, he's got it. If you like boxing, he got it. If you like any type of uh, boxing and gaming commentary, he's got it over there. Jelly Bean 4280. Go sub to his channel. But like I was saying, you know, you look at teams like a Phoenix Suns that have multiple guys on there in which you could say, okay, yeah, that guy could be an all-star. This guy could be an all-star. This guy could be a potential, Hall of Famer. Same with Golden State. The same with looking at Chicago. The same looking at Cleveland. Even with Memphis. And the whole look is okay. We got guys on there. We got guys on there that can do so much, and it's not just one thing. It's not just one player doing everything, and they're also bringing the best out of each other. Look, LeBron is great, but we have to call it what it is. Every time something happens, there's always a circus. And then when that player ends up leaving, they're either a shell of themselves, or they're forgotten about, or you know they have to change their game and all this other stuff. And that's the stigma that's been put on him, and a lot of guys get offended by that. you know Look, the NBA is trying to move on. He's 37 years old, you know, and he can't carry the league like he once used to. Okay. And the league is going in a different direction, man. And guys got to understand that. So I think that it's starting to improve and people want to get back to enjoying, basketball, not just dominated by just one player or they're just focusing on one player. They want to see these other guys come up. They want to see the John Morants. They want to see, Giannis continue, have a chance to continue to carry the league. They want to see these other young and up and coming superstars, you know, be able to carry the league because it's just been, that's what the media always talks about, and they want to be able to talk about different players. Now, in terms of when you talk about race, guys having opportunities in the front office, guys, you got to think about it. James Jones, executive of the year, Monty Williams could have had coach of the year last year. We have to look at it from that standpoint. But you can't say that in football, even though Mike Tomlin, he sets the record of having 15 win the season, but that's the only guy. That's the only guy. But in the NBA, they're you're allowed we're allowed to flex our muscle a lot more. Now, is there racism? Yeah, it's always going to be racism, but more often than none, you know, our product, the product is on the floor. A big percentage of it is African Americans. Now, a lot of internationals are starting to come over here and everything, and it's starting to happen globally. But for the most part, we pretty much make up the big percentage of the NBA. And not only that, what you also have to understand is that we have coaches and we have people in the front offices that actually can have a lot of say so. And then also you gotta look at the NBA Players Association, and that has been since the beginning. Isaiah Thomas was the president at one time, and then also you have Chris Paul. Isaiah Thomas was always in the front office. He had been in the front office, uh, in New York and Toronto, multiple places where he was able to, kind of flex his muscle. And I think that right there, that gives the NBA the edge automatically. You don't see that in football. And the only way that they're ever going to be able to say that and even put the NBA in the same sentence with the NFL is if what they do what what Chris Bosh says they need to do, which is to have more black coaches, and it's not just even black coaches; it's just African Americans being in the front office in general. I wouldn't even be satisfied with them just being coach because guess what? When you're a coach, guess what? You still have to look over your shoulder, so to speak. Because if you don't meet their expectation, then guess what? They'll be ready to get rid of you. You know, it should be a thing where okay, we got this individual in the front offices. This guy's the owner, African American. Something like that. I think we need more of that. The coaching position, yeah, that's fine, but that's not gonna be the end all be all. And the only way that I could ever see that happening is if we started our own league, our own football league, you know. But I agree with you know, with what Chauncey Billups is saying in terms of, the front offices and coaches and stuff like that. But in terms of like how everything is marketed and uh, the well, where they're at right now in comparison to where the direction that they're going, that's a whole different fixture right there. And they're making strides. I mean they're doing their best and everything to try to move in a different direction. You know, and it's tough. Look, I know a lot of people are disappointed that LeBron is going to be leaving soon. You know, and some people hate me probably for even saying something like this. But see, y'all take things so personal. I'm objective, all right, and if you don't like that, you could bounce. It doesn't bother me. Some of y'all have an emotional attachment to where you can't criticize a player. Joel Embiid is on my team, right? And I think that it's absolutely disgusting what he does, scoring all these points in the regular season. And then next thing you know, you get to the playoffs, then you play like trash because he hasn't met my level of expectation. So, but it doesn't take away from how good he is. It's just that we have to see more, and that's just a prime example. LeBron is great. He's going to go down as one of the greatest players to ever play the game. But we have to understand that when all they're seeing is you, and the casual fan doesn't want to see anybody else but you, and doesn't know anybody else except you, that's a problem. That's a problem. Not unless you're a real basketball head and as somebody that actually pays attention. Somebody that actually knows these role players. A lot of these people you have a conversation with, the only person that they know, oh, just LeBron James, LeBron. That's it. That's all they know, and they don't know anybody else. Sorry about that, y'all. My last point though, the thing that gets me is you have some of these people that have power, that have a voice, that quote unquote can take a stance, and they don't do it, and they don't stand behind these guys that are actually putting their risking their livelihood, and you know, risking their jobs, things of that nature. You know, we need more of those guys to step up because those guys got voices. Those guys have power. Look, when Jerry Jones they came out and said what he said or whatever, okay, that's all great. But Jerry Jones, that's not helping the situation. What would help is, them hiring a guy like a Brian Flores in Houston, and then next thing you know, that could open the floodgates for more opportunity for a lot of other guys, African Americans, and I'm speaking for the NFL in this case. And then next thing you know, they could be in the same pattern with what the NBA is doing. But until then, we're never gonna progress. It's never gonna evolve, and it's always gonna stay the same. And it's gonna look like modern day slavery, which is what it looks like right now. What's up with it, Gomes? I see you in the building. So y'all let me know what you think, man. Leave your comments, like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notification. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, and I'm out.